Hi friends, today we are going to make a breakfast parfait. This parfait uses Greek vanilla yogurt and berries and toppings, but I have not brought any of the toppings into the kitchen because my mother and father can both have something different. So I'll talk about that as soon as we start constructing this parfait. So I'm going to put this aside and talk to you a little bit about measures. We have our dry measuring cups and our wet measure cups. Basically, they will hold the same volume, but you'll notice that they're different in that this one is a cup flat and this one has a little spout, and the 1 cup mark is here. And so the difference between these is this one for the liquid will stop a little bit before the lip of the cup because you don't want to be sloshing things around. So there's a little bit of room to give you that added protection of spill proof. Not really, but just won't spill as much as you would if you filled it to the rim. And this one is generally used for baking. It's 1 cup. And if you think about this one and you are using this one for baking, think about the flour. If you fill it up with a spoon, it will probably be a little more accurate, but then of course you have to hit the side to get it to level off. So if you scoop it in the bag and you pull out a lot more flour than the cup, it's easily remedied by taking something flat and flattening it out. So when you're baking, you really want a level cup. So that's basically the difference between that. And sometimes when you're using things like sour cream or yogurt like we are in this dish, you can probably get away with using this. And I often do because for the yogurt, it's just a little bit easier to handle. So we're going to go ahead and start. This generally gets put together in a parfait glass, but I don't have parfait glasses readily available. So for the lack of a parfait glass, I'm going to use this plastic glass and just so that you can see how the parfait looks when it's put together. So the first thing that we are going to do is measure out, well, let's start with the strawberries. We'll start with the strawberries because actually that's what the berries rather, because that's what goes in the bottom layer of the glass. So 1/2 cup of mixed berries. And then we're going to do actually a cup. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup, but I generally put 1 cup in there because it's a little more filling for my parents. And again, it's serving their dairy need, and the yogurt is sweet and there's protein because again, it's Greek yogurt. I'm telling you, I used Greek yogurt when I was there with them in just about every dish. So they were getting a lot of nutritious packed meals. So let me level this off and see how much we have here. It's close to a cup. I'm going to put just a little bit more and see where that is. That looks pretty close. But just give it a little bit more. And then flatten it out. That pretty much is a cup. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put the yogurt, pour the yogurt right over the berries. And imagine how pretty this looks in a parfait glass. You can find parfait glasses in my parents' house. They're tucked away in the cabinet above the refrigerator. I left them there, forgot them there, but now I'm glad they're there because you can actually make these parfaits in those glasses. So this is pretty much it. In the parfait glass, this would pretty much be filling up the whole glass. And the last thing, the last ingredients for this, the last ingredient is some kind of grain. What I put in there for my father is a half a cup of Uncle Sam's cereal. The cereal is really a good cereal for him because it's very low in sugar and it's got flax seeds, and the flax seeds have a lot of protein. So again, we've got fruit, yogurt, dairy, and protein, and then the Uncle Sam's cereal as a grain, and the seeds serve as a protein source. So again, you're fulfilling the requirements for their daily allowance of fruits, vegetables, dairy, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much it. You put the berries, yogurt, and then half a cup of cereal. Now, I told you that my father would benefit by having the Uncle Sam cereal, but I know there's a couple of other things there that he can have, other kinds of cereal. And I think one of them is called wheetabix, and it's about this big, and it is a biscuit of wheat. And if you take that and crumple it in, you can have one whole biscuit and crumple it up and put it as the topping for the sundae, parfait. And for my mom, we can either use granola. I think she will eat granola, or her cereal, which I believe is called Cinnamon Crunch. You can take a handful of that and crumple that and put that on top. And of course, they're sweet in this dish from top to bottom if you're using that cinnamon toast cereal for her. So you probably shouldn't have any problem with her eating this. Ladies, the caretakers who are there in the evening, at night, once they go to bed, you may want to do the caretaker who comes in the morning, you may want to do them a little bit of a favor and actually make these ahead of time and stick them in the refrigerator, put a little piece of saran wrap on them. And so when my folks come and sit at the table, all the caretaker has to do is pull out the parfaits, and one of the components of their meal is done. The other thing I would serve with this is perhaps an English muffin with an over easy egg, using a pan, I guess, nonstick pan, sprayed with Pam, and egg broken in the pan, yolk split. When it starts getting a little cooked around the edge, you flip the egg over, put the egg on the muffin, and then put this next to that, and you've got a complete meal for them. And again, this is probably a 20-minute deal. So the egg and the toasted bread or muffin and this, less than 20 minutes. You should try it yourself. This dish is really delicious. Okay, until our next recipe, I hope you enjoy the parfait.